My name is Brandy, and today we welcome you to the next YMCA Level Up Arts and Crafts.
Before you begin, remember to ask your parents if you can participate in this craft.
And don't forget to clean up when you're finished.
Are you ready for another fun craft?
Today we're learning about a famous artist, our artist hero of the day, Picasso, and we're doing what we're calling our self-portraits.
Before we begin our craft today, you need to make sure that you have your tablecloth laid out and you have on some older clothing. We are using acrylic paint, which stains both items and your clothing, and you don't want to ruin some nice clothing.
Or a nice table.
No, goodness, no. Now, as for your supplies, you need to make sure that you have all of them laid out and ready. You will need a black piece of paper and a white piece of paper. You will need your acrylic paints, your paint brushes, your pencil, and your liquid glue. You will also need a cup of water and a paper towel, but make sure that your cup of water is sitting on top of your paper towel.
Okay, everybody, we're getting ready to draw before we paint our self-portraits. It does not have to be perfect. I want to make sure that when you draw, you're drawing from the shoulders to the head on your piece of paper. So I'm first going to draw the shoulders of my person. I'm going to draw shoulders to my neck. And then I can draw my head. Just like that. Does not have to be perfect. Now I have hair that kind of goes to my shoulders, so real lightly I'm just going to kind of draw what my hair looks like. I kind of have a part that goes right there. And I have some hair that kind of comes up over top of my headline right there, so I'm going to draw some right there. And maybe you might be able to see my ears a little bit, so I'm going to draw a little space for my ears. I have some eyes. When you make your person, it can be any emotion that you want to be. So your person can be sad or happy or angry or confused. I'm going to make my person happy and silly. So I'm going to draw my eyes. Eyes don't always look like perfect circles. They kind of look like ovals. Like that. And they have an eyelid over top of them. And they have eyebrows. So if you want to look in a mirror to see what your face looked like, that's what Pablo Picasso, I'm sure, did to help him remember what his face looked like. There's my eyebrows. And here's my eyeball inside of my eyes. And I have a round pupil right there like that. And I'm going to draw my mouth next. So I want this to be kind of silly. So I'm going to draw my mouth to be kind of crooked. But with a smile. Maybe a silly smile. Maybe my mouth's open just a little bit. And my nose is going to come down here like this. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty good. And next I'm going to paint. Maybe I'm going to put a collar on my shirt right there. Okay, next I'm ready to paint.
So even though our drawing is ready to paint, we aren't ready to paint. We need to prepare our paints on our paper plate. Opening the paint, you can see that there's a little piece in there showing that it's not open yet. On the top of the lid, on the outside, there's a little piece in there. You're going to turn that over and you're going to push down onto where the paint was closed. Now it's open. I'm going to move these paints off here for right now. I'm going to put just a little bit of paint onto my plate. I'm going to repeat the same steps for the other colors. I may end up needing more paint, but I don't want to use too much on my plate because I don't want to waste any. Now that we've done that, you're pretty much ready to paint. All you have to do is grab a paintbrush, pick your color, and start. And you know what, Miss Brandy? I think that you would look nice with some purple hair.
Ooh, purple hair like yours?
Yeah, I think that would look great on you. Some purplish red, absolutely great.
So Naomi, our art hero today is Pablo Picasso. He is really, really famous. Did you know that when he was just 7 years old, he started painting? He started taking lessons when he was 7 years old.
Yeah, because at 13 he started taking those advanced lessons at Barcelona or something.
13 years old.
Yeah.
13 years old. He also was a sculptor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was born a long time ago in 1881, but his art right now is still worth thousands and millions of dollars.
Man.
He was born in Spain. So he was a Spanish artist and a Spanish sculptor.
That's very, very interesting.
Did you know Picasso when you were young?
Yes, I did actually. He's inspired me to continue art, even though, I'm getting older. Because, he made something of himself, even though he was so young when he started.
He must have really loved art.
Yes. I can only imagine how many kids, like the ones who are going to be watching this, are going to be inspired by someone like him who stuck with what he loved for so long.
And that's why he's our art hero today.
Yes.
He's our art hero because he loved art so much. He stayed an artist and he learned how to become an excellent artist even whenever he was younger.
This is my painting of Miss Brandy. We now are going to be cutting it into large pieces, but first we need to cut around the edges of it. Now I've got my scissors, I'm just going to start right along the outside of my painting.
Now that Naomi has cut the outside of the person, we're going to cut big, large sections of the person. Kind of like if you're cutting this person to a puzzle, but we're not going to put the puzzle back together exactly right. And it can be anywhere you want to cut it. This is one way when Picasso was doing his art that he showed expression of feeling.
So now that you have so wonderfully cut this into pieces, I get to put the puzzle back together without fully putting it back together. And that's mostly because in Picasso's art, whenever I look at it, you can see the personalities and the way that he felt about the people he was painting, especially himself. Because a lot of times we get really sad or down and we don't show it. We don't feel like we're all there. But we still put a smile on our face and are happy.
So this is what our Picasso-inspired self-portrait looks like. What does yours look like?
Thank you for joining us to learn about our artist here at Picasso and make your self-portrait with us. We'll see you guys next time on Level Up with Arts and Crafts.